Hari Om. Hope and pray that you are all doing well. In the last couple of nuggets of wisdom, we have been talking about the personality and the personality rehabilitation, moving from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic. So as I was discussing this with somebody that came to visit at the ashram, so the question that arose was, what is a personality? What constitutes a personality? And how do we define it so that we can understand it for ourselves? Vyaktitva, personality, and how does one get a grip at understanding it? So then I started pondering about finding a quotation of Pujya Gurudev as to when he has spoken his self-unfoldment, art of man-making, meditation and life. He talks about the personality and personality layers, but I found a very good one, and it reads, we as a personality at any given point of time are the sum total of our thoughts, which we consciously express or entertain. Very beautiful, simple statement which encompasses all the layers. Now, in order to understand this with a much better grip and depth, each person, हर व्यक्ति और उसका व्यक्तित्व and their personality, the attributes of that person being a person. We function at various layers when we are interacting with the world, when we are not interacting with the world as well. So all the layers, it's not that I express only at one layer. It's an amalgamation of all these layers put together. That cumulative effect is what expresses out. Focus here being in the first line of understanding, to understand what are the different layers that this personality expresses through and as. So at the grossest level, we express as our physical realm, physical body. If we take a further step outside of this body, then many of us, key point being, we identify ourselves, the identification. We identify ourselves with even the kind of house that we live in, the kind of neighborhood that we live in, the kind of vehicles that we travel in, the kind of things that we use to enhance that house, enhance that environment. Our identification is strong even by that I live in such a locality, such a neighborhood. I sit and I have friendship with such people. I I have a certain social status. So the idea being that the personality that we are is the sum total of the thoughts that we consciously entertain. That which I am identifying with, identifying as, and consciously express those, that becomes my Vyaktitva or personality. So the Vyaktitva and the Vyakti's pravritti decides the personality, how benevolent or how not benevolent the personality is. So the grossest level is the grossest of the grossest being the the layer from which we express by identifying with the external parameters. Then comes the physical aspect of it, how tall I am, how dark I am, how fair skinned I am, how many muscles that I have, how many well defined toned body that I have, how hot and appealing I look, how the externalities and the capacities of it. I am super efficient with this body. I am athletic. I am clumsy. Good, bad, everything. Many of us take pride in the body that we are. Many of us feel shallow and hollow with the body that we have. It looks ugly. It looks whatever. It looks bald. It looks aging. It looks grey haired. I'm just picking on myself so that. Again, why does this matter? It matters because the identity, if it is my identity, if it is accepted, then I feel that I am accepted. Thereby, I feel that I am respected and I am cherished. To be loved and to love is the greatest asset as a human being. And as a personality that I have identified with, if it is accepted, then I am accepted. So therefore, the kind of body that I am identified with as. Not that we have much of a choice. Most of us are definitely in love with this physical format, that which we are, and we express that to be accepted. Then the emotions and the thoughts, because the inner layer, the identity happens at the intellectual level. So to just briefly touch upon that particular aspect, I have the aspect of mind, the seat of emotions, the intellect, the seat of decisions and identity, the memories that I carry. So one aspect of chitta is the memories. Then the buddhi, which is the decision making one. The mana, which is the seat of emotions. All of these are thoughts. Texturally, when the thought is of a wobbly nature, indecisive nature, we call that as mind, mana. When it is of a decisive nature, we call it as buddhi, intellect. When it is of the nature of my earlier experiences, past experiences stored within, those stored memories are an aspect of chitta. That which I recall, entertain, reminiscence of it, or the trauma of it, as the case may be, I entertain or not entertain those thoughts and I identify with them. So all these different layers, I consciously entertain and express. Consciously entertain and express essentially means that I am identifying with it and then expressing it. As is the identity or the depth of identity, that strongly and vehemently we express through that particular layer. Now, ultimately, we have to reach to a point wherein we have to become gunatita. So, we have a combination of these layers that I just explained. And through each one of these layers, I express at a tamasic level, at a rajasic level, and at a sattvic level. So, the permutations increase now. At any given point of time, with all these layers that I am identified with the guna of sattvic and rajasic, or sattvic and or pure sattva, or rajasic and tamasic, or tamasic and rajasic, at different levels I express. The ultimate thing in the path of spirituality is to reach to a point wherein, though these gunas exist, I remain unimpacted by these gunas and I can modulate them at free will, because I am the boss of them, I am the controller of them. Thus, thereby I am not the personality. I can entertain a personality for that particular purpose. No, that doesn't lead to multiple personality disorder. It is when that identity is not in control and it takes over by itself, then we have a problem. But when I have a complete mastery over it and I am not a slave of these personalities, and I express through them as and when required. So the key here is consciously entertaining it, meaning identified with it, I am entertaining it for that particular interaction in that particular intersection slice of my life. So the problem comes at various layers. First, that my personality, as I have identified thickly with, when I start expressing that personality, as I am expressing it, that has to be acceptable to the world. If that is accepted, then I have this amazing feeling inside that I am being accepted. And in that being accepted, I feel that I am being cherished or loved. I am wanted. I am needed. And my identity gets stroked. It gets a fulfilling feeling that I am being loved and needed. Then comes the battle with all that which I am identified with, as it constantly, consistently changes, and change is quite devastating to the mind because it wants to settle in that comfort zone. Body changes, I don't like it. Material and people and environments around me changed, I don't like it. The mind and emotions change and I don't end up liking it. And when it gets to a point when all these different layers of identity seemingly behave as though they are not in my control, I start feeling that I am being dragged by these emotions, these identities, and I have absolutely no say in it, no control in it. So therefore, in the realm of spiritual unfoldment, it becomes a necessity to first focus on this personality and personality. There will be a slight discrepancy because suddenly, as I was talking about the fan, they didn't like it, so the entire electricity went, and I'm resuming this after the electricity has come. So you would find my glasses also have changed. But anyways, to wrap this topic, the sense of identity with the layers, I feel that I have become independent when I make the transition. Then the second is when I know that the impact of it. And third is a sense of relief, just like the fan which is making noisy, I need air, so it is running. When it is turned off, then I see the sudden noise that I had acclimatized with and was not even aware the pressure that it was creating. And suddenly when it is gone, I see the amount of relief that I can experience. This all contributes to our inner peace. And once I have that stability, because peace creates that stability, and from that stability I can forge ahead, I can move forward with the next spiritual steps for which I am available. The body is available, the mind is available, the intellect is available. My memory churned to bring the positive light on my influence with the present experience rather than disturbing the present experience. All this can be channelized. So I become more available for sadhana. Otherwise, I always experience that when I sit for puja, japa, dhyana, swadhyaya, I find myself distracted, I find myself disoriented, I find myself disheartened. The overall result is not churning in, and thereby it feels very stifled. So the inner personality rehabilitation, this particular nugget, we saw how it changes from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic, and how it helps and benefits us to further our sadhana in a better way. So hope that is understood, applied and experienced. May the Almighty and Guru Parampara give us that ability to fine tune ourselves so that we are more available for sadhana, for experiences, and to be more alert, vigilant and awareful life that we can lead. Until the next time, stay tuned, be well, Hari Om.